should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Not that you're gone. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Laying on my floor, thinking about all the things that we've been through. From 24/7 to pretending like I never met you. No, it's all for the best, 'cause I know where I'm at. Every time we're together, going out of my mind, and I wish I could lie, tell you that it gets better. Not that you're gone. They say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I searching for the break of a day to follow away to you. 'Cause at the end of the day, I'm looking for a reason to change. 'Cause everything is good for you. Baby, I can see you. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. Tell our secrets tonight, so we can see the end inside. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. When I look into your eyes, I can see no better light, better light than love. Baby, I can see you. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. Tell our secrets to the night, so we can see the end inside. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. When I look into your eyes, I can see no better light, better light than love.
It's going to be a quick counter-attack. Sai loses the ball. Big knock forward. Waterfall's down and he'll find the target. Opened up from the heaven. Down, a Decadensky player gets a touch right in field. And hold on a minute. This could be on target. Repre knocked out.
Isaac trying to bring this ball away, flipping into the middle. No, NC cuts it off the sidewall. Beautiful redirect. Clear, but Dantronex collects. It's over to the left side where Silence lies. What a pass inside. Dirk and Jazz working together. The low 50 played, ball into no man's land. Hill motion. Takes to the skies, off the ceiling, reset, dunks down!
And Clifty will look to try and take a shot at the upper finals. Still waiting for its real opening. Clifty off the ceiling. Hold on a minute. He will find the redirect! Welcome to the Redirect 3v3 Monthly. Last month, 7 Elixir was dropped on the bridge as Pekka took on Lantique off the back of being French 2K LAN champion. But Darku, Motion and Forceful, we've seen them in this spot before. They've been Redirect champions. Will these French players be enough? Well, clearly, the answer was yes and a little bit more, taking both of their lives out of the upper bracket. And the next two Redirect Monthlies as well. The team that didn't show up in the upper bracket did not show up in the lowest, so Rash also qualified into the grand finals. The Hungarian youngster Bibba, Sheila and Smashy alongside with that experience were enough, despite the first game against them, to take that victory against Lantique. But ladies and gentlemen, it's a new dawn, it's a new life, it's a new day, and I am feeling good for number 28. It's myself, Sir Pegasus, joined by Rhino.
Good afternoon, everybody. Pleasure to be here once again on the Redirect 3v3 Monthly, especially alongside two absolute GOATs. One in front of the camera, one behind, but very, very honored to be back again to bring you some exciting Redirect action.
Absolutely. It's been a couple of redirects. There's a Cash Cup going on at the moment as well, which is, of course, going to have an impact on the teams that do show up, but we have still got quite the stacked bracket today, and some results as well that I feel like not many people were expecting. First of all, those Dino Dancers, Ice Horde Farmers, actually losing here to Rocket League baddies in that first round, we could see being one of those shock results. But of course, we're going to be covering that upper final. And the two teams here will be a full Spanish team of VamosSinPatas versus... We're going for FNosKe. We found out it had a few pronunciations of that word, a few meanings in Swedish. However, it actually just coincidentally is the combination of all three players on the team's name.
Yeah, so we are kind of going back and forth, right? We don't see any Swedish players, but we can obviously see these two lineups right now. VamosSinPatas, as you just mentioned, the full Spanish roster of Tori Escalera and Denisinho versus FNosKe, as you rightly mentioned, of Finzi, Kekos, and Osafdinho. Everyone loving the Enio bit on the end of their name here, Pegasus, and only one can earn it, I feel, in this upper bracket final.
And Osaf is a bit of that new name to the scene here, some German talent who has been getting quite a bit of notability recently. He's been doing his show matches. There was entire, apparently, Jack videos made on this guy in 1v1s, and as a viewer of that video, his movement is absolutely incredible, but I am yet to see him in a 3v3 playlist. But with two teammates that we are very familiar with, Rhino, this is the perfect chance to prove himself.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it is. He's stepping onto the field with what seems to be a relatively new forming roster. Not seen Kekos, Finzi, and Osaf get together like this before. Maybe I could be wrong, but either way, with a purely, completely region including roster, it's very interesting. But we are going to get into this upper bracket final. Pegasus, so excited for this one. VamosSinPatas taking to the field to play FNosKe for a chance at the grand final.
The Spanish Inquisition takes on the rest of Europe. New names and those that we are rather familiar with. This is one of the most exciting upper finals we've had in quite some time. Those familiar English names not present here. This time, new blood can take themselves a championship. So excited to see these players enter the pitch for this first matchup, and this is one of the first times where I've got no real idea where to go for a prediction, but made a little bit easier for me because I'll never vote for a Tory. Kickoff is underway.
Here we go then, as you rightly say, kickoff is underway, and it's the Spaniards to take early possession into this corner. Ozaft gonna just watch for this. Finzi does send it away. He's been so good in a kind of third man role for his side rounds in the last season or so. We hope that he's able to bring that into this FNosKe roster, but hang on a moment. Tori goes over the top. Ozaft gets that away, and there's a demo on the back lines as well.
Big ball forward here by Finzi. We'll go straight into one of those blue cars. Gonna have to attack once more, but that's a double commit. Second man. His communication with the first. Osaft's left alone. Great dribble vote. Get himself off that backboard. Makes a bit of forward pressure, but this VamosSinPatas side definitely looking like the one with all the chemistry formed. They are all nationmen. They've likely played together many times in the past. I know that Dino has certainly been around the Spanish scene. For FNosKe, this is a time to really step up because this is tough competition for their first series on stream.
Yeah, it certainly is. VamosSinPatas going to be coming into this event thinking that maybe they could win the whole thing. They should have, as you rightly said, the team chemistry, team cohesion. Actually, this is going to be Dennis trying to do it on his own. Gets a low 50, nice, but that's the only thing he's going to get as Kekos sends it up to the left-hand side. It's been a lot of pressure from Vamos at the moment, but Ozaft with a chance now to clear the ball away. Goes low, tries to win a 50. Denisinho does enough to send it back into the middle of the field. Boost collected here by Vamos. Maybe not enough. Kekos middle, but Ozaft has gone beyond. Finzi will collect into the corner. Wants a double. Will go up for it. Looks for the shot. Going to go wide.
It's nice to see him playing without 100 ping or more after competing in APAC last season, but now at the peak of his powers, he'll be able to show off a little bit more. That's a miss from Osaf. Shot not on target either. This ball boom forward. The counter comes in quick, and just when you thought it was the blue side's time to strike, FNosKe proving that you cannot make these slight mistakes. They're so quick at reintroducing themselves. A bump as well on Skrull. It's a completely open air, but Osaf's got an awkward angle, and the third man isn't high enough forward. Dino's been bumped off, and that's two chances slipping away, equally split down the middle.
Yeah, for sure. We're approaching the halfway mark. here in this first game of the upper final. Of course, best of 5 as always here at the Redirect 3v3 monthly. Off the left-hand side, Tori sends it away. He's got Dennis waiting for it. Off that right, reset, looking for the pass. Beautiful work. He saved it from his own teammate. Pegasus, how has that come through? That's crazy.
This has been a chaotic first game. Fortunes haven't favoured either side. This is going to be an earned game. It's not going to be anything less than that. Finzi pops up one. Tori off that backboard, though. 0 boost. No problems, however. Leaves this one to score. Denisinho tips this one out wide again. No player there to receive. I feel like that's play we've seen from both of these sides now, where it's been dribbled to no man's land, and opposing player has just been waiting to pick it up. Kekos a little bit of extra effort having to form there in those vertical angles. Osaf on the back foot. It's a great recovery to tip that one out wide, but they're not out of the woods yet. Tori tries to get that ball back in the mixer. Vinzi's looking to send it right out. It is washing machine Rocket League right now as this ball does lapse to the pit.
Yeah, that one's going over the top. And you talked earlier about Ozaf's movement, and I have to bring it up there again. The way he was able to recover from that bump was so impressive. Not many players would have had that presence of mind to make that movement as swiftly as he did. Really nice work. And now Kekos has an opportunity. He goes over the top, wants the bump, finds it too, drops to the back post. And the orange juice man from Germany finds the first goal of the upper bracket final. FNosKe go 1-up.
And we know Gorg from the last Redirect Monthly would be celebrating as his German friend scores the first goal of this Redirect Monthly stream. 60 seconds remain just to hold on, but chances have gone both distances. This is certainly going to be a tough final minute. VamosSinPatas know how to step on the accelerator. We've seen Denisinho many times before able to get these late equalizers, but Finzi is looking to stretch the score sheet. Kekos up once more. Osa off the corner, needs another player available, but it's only a blue card to get that clearance. It's a big move forward, and that first touch from Kekos will not be enough. Finzi back on corner, looking to try and get it back forward from their defenses, but VamosSinPatas managed to make this defense pop.
Yeah, eventually it happens, right? And it's going to be off a miss from Kekos, really. Should be able to read that off the backboard. Just doesn't make contact. And now there is 40 seconds for one of these two teams to try and find a regulation winner. Otherwise, we will be going to OT in game 1. But that's a lovely play from Kekos off that left side. Denisinho wins out. Finzi's going to be up first. Reset. Oh, just needed an extra touch that doesn't get found. Ball off the backboard, still alive. Bump on the backline. Double commit from Vamos. It is going to be enough to keep the ball out of the goal, though, with 20 seconds remaining.
All around here, and this might be an open for Osaf to bump yet again. The physical gameplay from FNosKe being too much for the defense, and there's a real chance that this could be the winner. 14 seconds, heart beating, hand shaking. It's time for the final kickoff.
Here we go then. Another gutsy goal needed from VamosSinPatas, and maybe two. Ozaf drives through his third of the game. Tip him if you've got him. Hat trick for him. And FNosKe, it's fair to say, will take this game number 1.
Rest of these 11 seconds. Surely just a victory lap now for FNosKe. It was a kickoff attempt there where you wanted to hold that tight cheat on VamosSinPatas, but that second man couldn't quite make connection. It's one of those real high risk, high reward plays that being in the final 15 seconds of the game and down does force you to play, but now finally hitting 0 seconds. Play continued for a few extra, but the matchup was already decided. FNosKe, your rest of Europe team, take that first game, but it was rather back and forth. That certainly felt like that one that could go the distance in OT.
Definitely did, but then all of a sudden you just had Ozaf taking charge, and he just seemed to have the number really of Vamos towards the end there. Oh, got the voices there for a moment, but that was the first one. Came through and banked on that one going through, and then the equalizer from Vamos was really nice, and I thought the tide had turned there. But in the end, it wasn't enough. FNosKe do enough. Empty net. Good bump on the backlines from Kekos. And a kickoff goal to finish things off. Pegasus, you said you wanted to see him. You said you wanted to see what Ozaf has. And I think we did in game number 1.
Really promising start from him, but it's not just about the goals. Of course, he was able to pick himself up that hat trick. He was also able to make some save as well. There were many times where I felt like he was left somewhat on an island by his two teammates. I don't want to say that he carried in that last game, but I mean, 785 points of a second highest being 256. Sometimes the stats really do tell the truth. It was eye test there for him as well, falling in his favor, and we'll just have to see if he can hold that for the rest of the day, because it's one thing doing it in game one. This is a best of 5, ladies and gentlemen, and VamosSinPatas are not going to take that lying down.
No, they certainly are not, but something that is really interesting to know is that I think Ozaft has been locked in all day. He's got a good pass there. Kekos looking for Finzi in the middle, but not going to happen. FNosKe have only lost 1 game all day to Pegasus. They've only lost 1 Rocket League game all day, and that was actually in their first game of the day against 1-1, where they ended up winning 2-1. So everything else has been a 2-0 sweep for them. They look to continue that trend. Kekos with another touch off the backboard. That backboard defense looking a little late from VamosSinPatas, which is going to be causing them concern. Backboard, another double commit from FNosKe, which they do need to start improving on. It's going to be Denisinho looking for the finish. What a save on the back of the goal line. Still an opportunity for Tori turning around. Will be there, surely, but another great save from FNosKe.
Vinci, chance now for the counter. Has a man behind him. Looks to take it over the first one, though. Wants that individual effort. Kekos will pick up from the pieces. Doesn't get that corner read shot. It's a good self-setup, though, to hold on to possession. Osaf with the reset. Tried to get a bit creative. Ultimately, it wasn't enough to escape this area of the pitch. They say it's safe for the defensive side, and VamosSinPatas show us exactly why that's the case. It was a lot more effort required for FNosKe to get that escape. VamosSinPatas just have to have these odd few touches. Kekos, though, now some space. This is a sign of danger. First man misses off the back wall. Squirrel here, beaten by Osaf, and that sharp shooter hits the target once more.
Great control here from Ozaf, because a lot of players actually wouldn't go for this ball in this scenario because he's playing that third man role and the rotation is going to be taking a little while. But what he does is he spots that ball has bounced up, and he knows that there's going to be no challenge from the side of VamosSinPatas. He's seen that they are delayed on that challenge, and so he goes for it because he has that ability and he has that speed to get across the field and get the finish. So, I mean, Ozaft, he is taking FNosKe as high as he possibly can. There might be even more from this young man, because I'm very impressed so far with what I'm seeing. Finzi trying to get something to go here. Ozaft off that left side, gets a nice double, but it will be cleared away by Dennis for the moment. Finzi back in. Opportunity near post. Kekos! I think that might go down as an own goal, Pegasus. VamosSinPatas struggling to deal with the FNosKe offense right now.
I would have to say the exact same, but Tori felt forced there to make that flick, especially when he sees his teammate on that back wall. It's hard to see how close they are. You have to be in those positions to really understand what the depth perception is like, especially when you've got the stress of this FNosKe team on your back. Ceiling Pinch gets it again to this top right corner, where if there was a heat map, that one would be scorching white. Osaf double flip reset off the crossbar. That's gorgeous.
You know, before we started going live, we mentioned that we have not had a single psycho goal here in the Redirects Monthly. I think this young man right here may be the key to finding that at some point on stream, because he is playing with so much confidence. A lovely double reset. Finzi looking to get another goal on the board for FNosKe. Not going to be able to do so yet, but this man on the ball, he is the danger man off that right side, waiting on it. Oh my goodness. Lovely shot, great save as well, but it's still pressure on from FNosKe.
Does he have an RLCS team yet? I really need to get tuned in. This is the player to look out for in this next season. I'm so impressed with this opening performance. Badino looking to give it right back! And that's what experience brings! On the brink of death, when confidence is low, if you can do it, I can do it better!
Yeah, absolutely. I've just taken the time to go and have a little look. I believe that he is potentially looking for a team with Riho, looking for one for next season. So if you want to get in touch, you absolutely can. Kekos moving off that right hand side, looking to go off the backboard. It's a bit beyond Ozaft, and Finzi's pushed forward as third man. And I mentioned earlier, that you don't want to be doing that because the rotation isn't there. And that's exactly what happens here. finzi needed to not challenge for that, go backwards, go for the save, decided to try and make the early challenge, and he pays the ultimate price.
It's two very different styles of attacking. FNosKe are all about speed. They want to be the first players on the ball. They don't want to allow their opponents to get a touch. VamosSinPatas, however, it's all about that control. It's about that organization. It's where players are placed on the pitch. It's coverage. It's overall off-the-ball control to see if they can pounce on any of these loose balls. And it is leading to what has been quite a fascinating back-and-forth match. A bit of a clash of styles and a clash of nationalities as well. But that's what you can afford to do. And you do have 3 players here that have that confidence and know where each will sit themselves. FNosKe, though, again on that counter, looking to be fast on. It's what's lured them sometimes a bit too high out of third, but they don't fall for the honey trap this time.
No, not on this occasion. The ball played forwards. Denisinho starts bringing it through, and now with VamosSinPatas back within 1, they are going to feel a little bit more confident. There was a demo there, though, and once again a third-man press could be capitalized on by the Spaniards. Not this time. Ozaft ready to bring this ball back, and the way he keeps control as well is so good. The only way to deal with it is exactly that. Take him out of the server, get him gone. Denisinho over the top, goes below Ozaft, looking now to bring it around. finzi just makes the adjustment and makes the save, but VamosSinPatas showing a lot in this game too.
Ozaft just forced to boom that ball forward with 0 boosts on all 3 of the players. This is giving them time to pick up some resources with the tank. Ozaft looks to use it. Zen touch to keep it close, though recoil a little bit too much thereafter. Too much to get himself back on in perfect control. He'll try yet again, though, off the side wall. VamosSinPatas read that one perfectly. Really well placed on that left wall, but it's Ozaft again. I just feel like I keep on saying his name. Back on the ball. But VamosSinPatas able to shut him down for the time being, but they need a goal in these 10 seconds.
Yeah, they do, and here we go, turning it back in. finzi just wants to make sure this doesn't get close, and Ozaft gets a good challenge. That should leave it to drop, and FNosKe take game number 2. But it was a little closer than maybe it should have been. 3-0 up with about 2.5 minutes to go. All of a sudden, they almost let Vamos back into it with a couple of goals that maybe shouldn't have gone their way. And Pegasus, we're starting to see the cracks in this FNosKe team.
Absolutely. It's all about that third man. It's about that defensive control. We know how strong they are offensively. We know that they can keep this ball built up. I mean, all 3 players got a touch in that first goal there, but you also have the individual efforts of players like Ozaft that can break the lines regardless of what is ahead of them. And that is, of course, going to a little bit of fear factor for VamosSinPatas. That goal yet again is absolutely ridiculous. But heading into this next game, I do want to see a little bit more creativity from this VSP side, because they have tried to build it up. They have tried to play that really clean Rocket League, but I think it's time to get a bit scrappy against this roster. They got there first in that first game by FNosKe, where they were just going bump play after bump play, and that's what's ultimately ended up with them in a match point situation.
Yeah, for sure, and I think that's so important now moving into this fight, what could be this final game for the Spaniards, right, is that they need to make sure that they are physical against this FNosKe side, because if you let them play their game, they've already proven that they will take, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile, right? So you need to be able to try and get in their face. Ozaft is going to get in your face. Backboard opportunity, no goalkeeper, no goal, as that one hits the post, but finzi tries to recover, doesn't do so. And the clearance is in. A chance to go one up for FNosKe is wasted. And now Denisinho down the other end. Ozaft makes a good save.
That back wall, finzi. Lay it off. Uses 2 touches to do so. Still. Nice fights here in those midfield lines. And whoever comes out on top after burning all this boost going to be in a very good position, especially if it's Ozaft in possession. Another pop reset, a second pop reset off the backboard. Someone's got to be there. finzi again not being able to find the target. Has 2 free chances slipping away for FNosKe already in this first minute. VamosSinPatas haven't had their first strike, but it's a redirect from Tori to show their efficiency.
Yeah, this is really nice play through the middle of the park from VamosSinPatas. Not quite as nice a goal as what would have been scored if Ozaf had gone the distance with that double reset going over, but just doesn't happen. And Escalera there able to find the pass to his teammate Tori, and now VamosSinPatas in the lead, looking to give FNosKe their second loss. But here he is again, reset over the top, read by Denisinho beautifully. Finzi still has the ball. Kekos keeps it alive in the corner, looking for the pass. Rather than go low, he goes high, but Ozaft is there. Low strike! And everything he touches appears to be turning to goal.
It's the one time that he doesn't go for a double tap or a flip reset or anything, and I feel like that did throw off the defense somewhat, especially when you've got Kekos sniffing your behind like a dog, bumping you out of it. More physical plays, just like in game 1, when they needed to get themselves back. This is a team that can change the game plan. 1v1 for Finzi as well. And that was Moxie-esque.
Welcome to the Redirects 3v3 monthly. Finzi been a little bit quiet in the first 2 games, but stamps his authority in game 3 to get FNosKe back at 1 goal up, and an absolute 1v1 beauty, as you rightly say. Denisinho, though, looking to get it back immediately. There's a demo onto a FNosKe player. It's Finzi who's been taken out. How dare you score against us? But nothing going the way of VamosSinPatas since that early goal. And now, quick break comes to nothing for FNosKe.
As it stands, FNosKe earned their spot in the grand final. With that first weighted game in their favour, VamosSinPatas are reliant on a reverse sweep and at least a goal out of regulation if they want any hopes of that being their position. Kekos in a Rule 1, I guess. Not quite, but they're going to stick it for the Redirect Monthly. Full respect to them. Osaf, though, this feels like a player you don't want to leave in a 2v2 position. That just gives him more space to go for a lot more of these mechanical plays, which he's already able to pull off against 3 defenders.
Yeah, which is a little bit of a concern, isn't it, for VamosSinPatas, as Denisinho, though, wants to show his mettle. He gets a reset, blocks away. A little bit of a bump as well. So Finzi now down the left side, sees Ozaf down the field. Now to take it on his own, though, Finzi drops it low, sent away by Denisinho. Up so early is Ozaf. Beautiful work. Tori, opportunity, but Ozaf once again able to push it to the side. No boost really to work with. No problem to get the demo. Down that left, got Finzi in the middle. Might try and use him off the backboard, but it's a bit too slow of a ball in. Finzi still trying to make the challenge, and it's still 2v2 for the moment. Ozaf over to that far side. VamosSinPatas trying to get around this FNosKe back line, but they can't do it yet.
You know, quick reset, but this one drops to Finzi. It was good in a 1v1 position, but that second defender, too much in that occasion, as they were close positioning. Ready there for that pop-up. I thought that was broken, but instead Osaf able to keep it close, gets 100 boost as well. Opportunity to hook shot. Instead, bells in Tori to set up his wall play by himself. 2 touches won't be reached. However, the opposing corner boost will. He's stolen the ball away from the opponents too. Doesn't have a teammate right there. He's running laps of those 2 corners. That's a lovely little shot over. As Finzi gets it back in the corner to Osaf. Now Tori.
Why, he's a professional on the sticks, has a prod doing the work. As now this right-hand side found. Ozaf, no boost. Won't be able to do much more than just boom it downfield. Tori, this right side. Finzi goes by. Looking now for the bump onto Ozaf, but won't find it. Will get the clearance here. Young German. Denisinho into the corner. Ozaf into the middle. Popped away. Might not be enough. Finzi decides not to go for it. And I don't mind that decision-making at all. You are in the lead. You don't need the goal. With 2v2, there is an opportunity to try and bring something back. Oh, no! Oh, dear. Tori scored an own goal earlier. He's now forced FNosKe into the mistake. And it's all square.
And your Redirect 2v2 monthly #1 champions are VamosSinPatas, your undercard. But now back to the 3v3s, ladies and gentlemen. It is equal after that 2v2. All players return to the pitch. I believe it was Kekos and Escalera that were not there before. Kekos, though, looks for that instant impact on the return. Doesn't quite get it through. 30 seconds remain. The next goal likely now to be golden. Kekos off that back wall, like you said. Physical plays. Osaf, though, Smart play to bail out now with 2 defenders ready set for Dino's counter.
Yeah, 10 seconds remain. FNosKe, no, they aren't really in any rush. They don't necessarily need to win this game number 3, but it would really benefit their cause. Ozaft collects the ball, pops it high, looking for a teammate. No one's up for it. Escalera off the backboard, and it will drop. Overtime looms. Here we go, Pegasus. First OT of the night.
Absolutely, and it is a vital one here for VamosSinPatas. Looking to take it early, but now Kakos on 0 boost still beats the half a tank Tori. Tough read. Really good first touch to keep control, however. And he might just go to full distance. Flip reset as well to hold it close with Osav. Still able to beat a man, but Kekos challenged himself forward as well. That's going to slow down their counter. In fact, they'll completely turn the tides because now it's Dino off that backboard. Tough angle. Gets the reset. The triple isn't on target. Finzi can't get that strike across. Osaf is held to a 50. This is the closest Rocket League we've seen so far. Sidewall not on.
Yeah, and here we go. They're going to try and get down the other end, but not in time. Tori into the middle. Escalera goes up. Can't find much. Kekos down that right wall. Gets the better of one. Denisinho's there to intercept. Out of the corner. Demo on the back lines. Ozaf does enough to keep Vamos at bay for the moment. Kekos, no boost. So we'll have to try and play these 50s quite low, and does. Finzi round 1. Needs to get the better of a second. Goes for the fake. A very brave play. Cool if it works. It didn't this time. Ozaf just misreads that one off the ceiling, so it will be VamosSinPatas who can come back down the field, but Finzi steals it from them, robs them. Ball over to that right side. Ozaf out of the corner. Has he got a teammate? No. Cleared away by Dennis.
It is back here to Escalera. And that corner beaten by Finzi. That is a fast jump coming from Osaf. Looks to stay close, but that flip wasn't quite what he was looking for. Dino has been that one's man here on the VamosSinPatas side. He's the one that can magic out of nothing. Doesn't do so in this occasion. Osaf, the magic circle. Looks to get the target with Kekos. But that doink doesn't quite find that top corner. Finzi will send it back forward. There's a whiff coming from Tori as well. Escalera gets it back out. Osaf's hit it as well. He's just going to hit those blue cars. Another double commit, and it feels like both teams are starting to get a little bit jumpy. Dino has Escalera. Physical play does not land, and it's back to Osaf.
Yeah, and he's got another reset, but he can't catch up to the ball. Tori gets the block. Finzi off that right-hand side. Big bump in the midfield from Kekos. He doesn't find more than that. The ball cleared away once more. Ozaft push it over into the corner. Gets the boost, but it's blocked away by Vamos. Finzi it forwards down that right channel. Blocked away by Dennis. Finzi into the middle once again. Is there a FNosKe player to finish this off? No, there is not yet. And a double commit from Vamos sends it away. Over 2.5 minutes played, and maybe not more. But again, there's no one there from Vamos to finish the job. And we continue. Kekos, right side. Won't get an extra touch. We'll look for the pass. Good 50, but pushed away by VamosSinPatas.
FNosKe playing for their pride, and VamosSinPatas playing for their lives. It's still that 2-0 series score, that sweep looming if that ball enters that blue net. Kekos musty flick off that back wall, but no one really got that hook around angle on the right hand side. It was a bit of a bunch up in the center of the pitch. A rather cluster attempt at net, now having to build back from their own third, and ending break from Tori first. Osaf, great control, perfect flip, a flip reset as well. Unbelievable.
He shows off, doesn't he, in those moments where he picks the ball up on his back wall and is given some room to get downfield. He gets a demo there, but nothing more. Finzi going to be looking for this one. Will be able to pick it up. And another demo, very aggressive play from FNosKe. It might be enough. Kekos drops it down. Denisinho in position to make the save. Here he is. Ozaft, ceiling, reset. Beautiful! Oh, it's just going to be saved and over the bar. But every time he gets on the ball, you think something's going to happen. It's like watching prime Eberechi.
It really does. Lovely flair in his gameplay. That double commit vote is going to be a cause of concern for FNosKe, but they've reorganized. Kekos is there again for another doink, which doesn't make its way around. Finzi looks for that backboard. Escalera does not get the read off that first ball, gets it off the second. Osaf back on, no one to challenge him initially. Flip reset, first touch, fake musty, still doesn't go through. Finzi, now it's his attempt for the mechanical play. Flip reset under, still not enough. It's a lockdown defense from VamosSinPatas, but that battering ram swings once more. FNosKe send another one towards the doors. But VamosSinPatas, I thought we're going to get a moment of control, but they panic touched it back forward. They can't breathe. It's suffocating. And now they can gasp for air just before Osaf gets back on. Through one. Desinho on 0. How are we still playing?
I've absolutely no idea. Finzi trying to get around the side. Kekos plays it over to that back corner. And now Finzi once again rises highest. Backboard found. Yet another opportunity for FNosKe that's not taken. Osaf goes by Dennis with the fake, and he might actually go all the way downfield with no boost. Wouldn't have that been something? Not quite on this occasion. Finzi does well to win that 50. Not a lot of boost to work with, so he allows Kekos to go forwards, waiting on that 100 boost, which never comes. So now Dennis starts to send this one back down the field. Oh, Osaf. He's going to be credited with a save. I'm not convinced that was going in. It looked like it was going off the backboard, but either way, there's another demo downfield as well. Another one as well. So much demoing happening, but Osaf gets up so beautifully well, makes another save. Vamos might still have a chance. It's still pushed away. Over 6 minutes of OT. We are still playing Rocket League. Tori might stop as though Escalera's waiting for the drop down. 2 FNosKe players there to prevent the goal.
Osaf does solo in defense with 0 boost. You have to perfect your angle of that second jump if you want to get the save. But this is just what he does. 6-minute OT. A real battle in this game. A reminder. VamosSinPatas with potential relegation as a result of this game to the losers bracket. Kekos bangs this one off the ceiling. Doesn't go down heavy. Dino's able to rebound. Kekos able to pick up a little bit of afters there with a punch on that back corner. Finzi is able to pounce as a result. Finzi wants a player back inside once more. Osaf is that player facing behind. It's a bit of a pinch on out. 100 boost. And will this man from Deutschland look to do his best Brazilian impression? Not this time. Takes it off ground instead. Sneaks it under one. A hop, skip, and a jump. But ultimately, Dino trips him up. Finzi booms it back forward. And play will continue for Escalera.
Certainly will. Ball drops down off the ceiling. Kekos has a beat. He's now looking to square up Denisinho. He's got no boost. He's trying to make them miss. And I love the idea, but the execution doesn't quite work out. Osaf still moving forwards, gets bumped off the play. And that should be the end of this FNosKe attack. Finzi going to try and turn it around. Good catch by Tori, who plays it over into the corner. Got Dennis waiting. Finzi up. Osaf takes over, moving down the left wing. Gets bumped off the play once again. They're being so aggressive with him. And that is meaning that he can't get those flashy plays that we've seen from him so far. Another opportunity, but Kekos this time just takes it away, booms it downfield. Will get the boost steal. Could be huge, but Tori makes 2 miss. Now into the middle, blocks away, not very far off the ceiling, and Kekos there to save the day for FNosKe. Another opportunity comes knocking. It's another double commit from FNosKe, but they don't get found out yet. Osaf with possession down that right-hand side off the backboard. Nothing more doing. 8 minutes gone. Still 2-2. Still we play OT.
The longest standing question in redirect history. Will it be a moment of magic or madness to decide this game? Both teams fully looked down, fully equal, both on the score sheet. And with the time they spent neutral, Kekos' strike doesn't go through. Dino's forced to commit in this front corner. All 3 players there. Very tight to the play. Will lead to a fast attack, but Osaf has been able to find some pocket. Beats one man. Just Tori and Dino, but Tori, the first man, is able to stop it. Strike far post. Still not far enough to be out of reach of Dino. Finzi wants it once more. Dino's back on, and he still has some more boost to go.
Absolutely don't believe this. Osaf gets bumped off the play once more. He just continues to get bullied by this VamosSinPatas side. Ball out of that right corner will be cleared away for the moment. Osaf is back up again. 0 boost in the tank. Tori puts it over into the corner. Osaf leaves that one for Kekos, who gets bumped off the play again. We ask for a more aggressive VamosSinPatas this game, and that's exactly what we've got. Osaf pops the ball high into the middle, doesn't really get all of it, brings it low, wants the challenge, does play it into the corner, nothing more. Tori Now coming back down the other end. Thought about the musty flick, decided not to go for it. finzi blocks it off in the midfield. And it's going to be Escalera who takes it down. Ozaf tries to send it long, just can't do so. Opportunity for finzi, keeps control, gets the reset, goes low, might have done it. Tori can't prevent it, but Escalera can. We play on.
It's still not enough. It is never enough in this overtime. We're going to double digits. Shots on all the way. Osaf doesn't let it happen.
I can't believe this. Ozaft off the backboard, still trying to get something to go. Tori sends it away. finzi off the right-hand side. Got about 30 boosts to work with. Pops it down, cleared away by Denisinho.
Keep your composure. Keep your bottle. Dino takes the first game for VamosSinPatas in 3 games worth of Rocket League.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is a statement from VamosSinPatas right there in Game 3. They will not be denied. 3 players on 4-digit scores.
Oh, my goodness.
That is absolutely insane. We didn't quite get the 12-minute OT that we were looking for in chat, but nonetheless, you've got to give it up. You've got to give credit to everybody involved, because what a game of Rocket League we've just seen, Pegasus.
I believe this is my 12th ever Redirect Monthly. I'm going to say that was the best individual game of Redirect we've ever seen. And I never usually do this, but I'm going to throw out this question to actually Producer Hazard, if he's listening. Where does this rank in Redirect Monthly history from your memory?
We've got to know. We absolutely have got to know. We will let you guys know when we get the answer. But, I mean, Pegasus, it's... Okay, there it is. Got to be top 2 at least.
Top 2 at least. And it's not 2. And it's not 2.
And it's not 2. That was absolutely breathless. Absolutely incredible. And it gave the lower bracket a chance to catch up with us. So well done, everybody involved. We planned it. We scripted it. It's all part of Hazard's master plan. Great tournament officiating from that man. But, I mean, Pegasus, we've got to go again. This series isn't over.
And FNosKe still do have match point in their favor. As much as I feel like that last game should have been worth 2, it's not for VamosSinPatas. They need to do that 2 more times. And I feel like if this reverse sweep is pulled off, FNosKe, especially Ozat and finzi, are going to wish they played more 2v2 together.
And here we go, looking for a shot cleared away by Kekos. Tori's going to be there off the backboard. And remember, that is only the 2nd game of Rocket League that FNosKe have lost all day long here in the Redirect 3v3 monthly. And maybe they're going to lose another one as Escalera down that left side. There's a demo on the goalkeeper, but he can't really keep control. Ozaf looking for another incredible play. Backboard, doesn't have the boost to follow it through. But you can see the vision of this young man.
Absolutely, Tori. In that corner, let Escalera take it, to play with more resources. That buys him time to pick up that 100 boost himself. Denisinho will take it off that back wall. Tori, though, not really having the opportunity to attack and net, instead has to play build-up. Escalera takes it low. It's an awkward first touch there from Kekos. VamosSinPatas very used to these neutral positions now, and you imagine what kind of effect that last game would have had on FNosKe. It seems to not have affected Osaf. You call it mechanics. I call this German engineering.
That is absolutely gorgeous. The speed that ball is coming back towards him. It's so difficult to measure exactly where you want that ball to be. But that's an absolutely stunning double touch dunk from Ozaf. And actually, they're looking to double their lead immediately. Kekos, no boost to force that ball over the line. But FNosKe, as much as they must have been affected by a 10-plus minute OT, it doesn't look like it moving into this game 4. Kekos trying to get the better of his man, but in the end it will be sent away by Vamos.
Tori with some control, bumped off there from finzi. It's about as disruptive as it gets, sent into his own corner. Escalera's now left alone. Kekos has that first touch, and you thought that was finzi's ball to chase thereafter. Instead, just deciding to be back in the defense. There's an extra layer of protection, and he was actually required. That is an intelligent pass out there to Dino, though Well defended as well by FNosKe. 3 minutes remain. 2 gone. It took them over 10 minutes to score their last goal. This is quite the drought for them to try and displace, especially after what has been such a dramatic game so far. South off his own back wall again, looking for this coast to coast, and he's so consistent at those pop resets. Finzi should have an open net. After that bump, sneaks it into that bottom corner, and actually there were 2 defenders to beat, but you wouldn't think so with how he's able to find that perfect bit of space.
Yeah, it's lovely. I mean, that initial touch was never going to get challenged off the backboard, so we knew he had the chance at the double. It's just about where you end up putting that ball, and he put it in exactly the right place, bottom right, and Ozaft is going to come through and get his second of the game. Half the game played. FNosKe now 3-0 up, and we have seen VamosSinPatas almost come back from a similar position. Pegasus, is this a step too far for them?
It might be. It might be 3 goals in half a game. I mean, you say if one team can do it, why can't the other? FNosKe are out for blood after that overtime, and they've looked incredibly strong. And this has been a big step up defensively for them as well, which was clearly their weakest position if it wasn't Ozaft as that third man in the first 2 games. It felt like that overtime is what really lit that fire for them, and now this looks like a team that's completely warmed up despite that defeat.
Yeah, absolutely. They certainly do.
Oh, and that happens, Rhino. That happens, and it doesn't fill me with much confidence. Wasteful. Completely wasteful.
The team that should have the most communication in the server fall at that hurdle. Ball right in front of the net. Just requires someone to finish that off. But it's not going to happen. So it does look like FNosKe are going to go through. Not only if you win this game, do you go through to the grand final. Denisinho has something to say about it. But not only do you go through to the grand final, you also get an extra game in that grand final, right? You go 1-0 up already. Off the bat, you only need to win 3, whereas your opponents need to win 4. And that lower bracket, Pegasus, well, whoever loses, they know who their opponents are going to be.
They do indeed. It's going to be Project 2M Day 3 EU Fan Club. We're getting very much Nage 10 SSA Fan Club vibes for those of you that have been around the Redirect Monthlies for a while. And there's some very familiar names on this roster. Dreamy, Cadley, Slothy, and Noxvas. I mean, any combination of those 3 are easily going to be one of the best teams that we've seen in the competition. Even if you accounts for the last few Redirect Monthlies, it will be Dreamy, Kaylee, and Slothy, the 3 players on the pitch if they don't pull in Noxvas as a sub in the final second. And this is a team that, frankly, you do not expect to be in the lower bracket.
No, and you know who sent them down into that lower bracket? It was FNosKe. So VamosSinPatas have not played them yet today, and it will be very interesting to see who is able to come out on top. But FNosKe able to take them down in a 2-0 fashion. That is going to strike fear into the hearts of many. Ozaft over the top, maybe looking to put the exclamation point down on this game 4. Not going to happen just yet. Ball over now to that far side, and VamosSinPatas, if they can get one more goal in this moment, they might have something to say about the result of this game. And there you go. 2 goals in 33 seconds, Pegasus. Do we have any believers?
I'll zip my lips. I'll let the gameplay speak for itself. However, temporarily unzip to say that this kickoff is vital.
It's a very, very good point. But kickoffs notoriously in this series have gone the way of FNosKe, and that continues. Demo does enough, but you are absolutely right. It was all about that kickoff, and they weren't able to get anything from it. So FNosKe, you'd expect to be able to see this out if they don't do anything silly. And I thought Ozaft really had an opportunity there. He just wanted the extra cool goal. But he doesn't find the finish with Tori, just about getting back in time. 10 seconds remain, 2 goals to find. Get the feeling it's not happening.
No, not at all. FNosKe have secured this upper finals, though VamosSinPatas for tooth and nail. All actually extremely close games for this Spanish roster. First few were within 1. The third game went to that overtime, of course, and 2 goal difference in this final one definitely felt like it was the most dominant for FNosKe so far. However, feel like if there was a rematch in that grand finals, if they are able to take down Project 2M Day 3 EU Fan Club, I feel like we could even get a closer result on the series scoreline as well.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way. I mean, VamosSinPatas, I don't know if they knew what to expect coming into this series, but they were shown, all right? They were shown in those first 2 games exactly what to expect, and in this final game as well. As you rightly said, FNosKe looked by far the better team on the field in that 4th game, but we know that VamosSinPatas playing at 100% can push this team very close. And I think we've got 3 teams in the top 3 here who really could take a game off any other team right now, which is a really exciting position to be in, because whatever grand final we get, you know it's going to be a good game.
Secretly in the background in productions, we've definitely worked redirect monthlies where a team has won the upper finals and we've already known what the grand result is going to be, or we've seen that matchup in the lowers and we know that it's going to be a rematch. This is definitely going to be one of those monthlies where anyone could end up becoming monthly number 28 champions, which is why you have to stick around and make sure you catch all of the action. And this is one of the most unpredictable redirect monthlies we have ever seen, and it's an unlikely trio which will start off with that game advantage in the grand final. Welcome back to the Redirect 3v3 monthly number 28. It's time for the lower finals to see if VamosSinPatas can respond after what was quite a dramatic upper finals. 3-1 doesn't tell the full story. We had an extra 2 games worth of action in overtime, which actually picked up the Spanish side's one and only win in that finals. But 1 goal being the difference in a majority of those games. This is not a team to be underestimated, right, Rhino?
No, it certainly is not. Very impressed with what we saw coming out from the Spaniards. However, the team that they are playing against were also sent into the lower bracket by the same team that they were. They were thrown into the lower bracket by FNosKe earlier. And so it's going to be Project 2M, Day 3. I mean, there's all sorts going on. But, you know, EU Fanclub, sure. Absolutely. There you go. 2M Day 3 Fanclub is their name for the stream. And you can see Dreamy, Kadley, and Slothy taking to the field for them during this monthly. And those are all names that we recognize and know very, very well, Pegasus.
Absolutely. Well, the Germans have been a thorn in the side of VamosSinPatas so far. We'll have to see if Dreamy can live up to that potential, a multi-time Redirect 3v3 champion. And also, we always have those Englishmen crop up, but this is a completely different sect of them, with Kadley and Slothy rounding out that roster. Kadley's been very impressive for me recently, Rhino. That's one of those names that just feels like it's been cropping up more and more, and every time that you witness his gameplay, it's always a little bit of a level up than the last.
Yeah, it feels like he's been grinding behind the scenes, doesn't it? Doing some work on himself as he starts to try and get a start into our LCS 2026. Very, very impressed by him recently. And actually Dreamy as well. I don't mind that at all. You know, Dreamy's also been one who has gone strength to strength, I feel, from back in the day when he was on Brave in the previous couple of seasons, all the way through to where he is now and getting some top 32, top 16 positions. So two players that I'm excited to see a lot more of, and of course Slothy in there with them, seeing how well he keeps up.
Absolutely, and VamosSinPatas, they were strong in the upper finals, but both of these teams are looking to earn their rematch. This is the final stand for the Spaniards, another German. It's this, the winners, POV.
Here we go then, getting into the lowest final. We're in elimination territory now. Lose and go home in this best of 5 between VamosSinPatas and 2M Day 3 Fan Club. And oh my goodness, Pegasus, I am so ready for this game. These two teams look both quality enough to make it through to that grand final, but who will it be to meet FNosKe?
I mean, they both look quality enough to go to the grand finals. They both look quality enough to win the grand finals. But of course, you want to build off of a great foundation, and this is where it has to be built up in this best of 5, especially because that initial best of 7 is going to have that weighted advantage against you. 2M Day 3, not a team we've seen before today, but certainly players we recognize, not however on the same roster.
And it will be VamosSinPatas taking the blue side once again for the second time tonight, whereas 2M Day 3 will be joining the orange side. So, clearance in from Denisinho, blocks off by Slothy at the first time of asking, but Escalera still able to make some room down that left. Kaylee blocks off the play, Denisinho does some work, there's a demo on the back lines, but the 50 comes in well from Dreamy, not quite a full 50, but it was more of a block. And now off that right-hand side, looking for the shot is Dreamy. Might have found it off the left post. Is there a follow-up? There is from Kaylee. Off the crossbar and in. And 2M Day 3 take the lead.
Nothing slow about this, Slothy. Instant impact in game 1. A bump as well on Escalera. That was their falling piece in the first game in the upper finals. And it looks like 2M Day 3 had their eyes on the main broadcast as well, using that same Achilles heel against them.
And they're going to try again. Dreamy drops this down, cleared away for the moment by Escalera. We know they can find something from relatively little. And VamosSinPatas do just that. Denisinho on the right-hand side of the goal to finish the job. 1-1, all square.
And Slothy and Kaylee have been players that have competed in the redirect monthlies for quite some time. It's not too often, though, we've seen them on the mainstream. Going to be a different pressure. This is a different level for them, especially because only the top 3 get the privilege of the main broadcast. However, match for prize pool as well. It's only silver and gold that go home with any share of that £100 prize pool. Dino wants a taste of it, doesn't land that double tap. Escalera beaten there by Slothy. Dreamy will chase in that corner, picks up that 100 boost. Going to slow down. Counters that VamosSinPatas go for, but that demo inflects that same slower energy onto 2M Day 3.
Yeah, and I'm still seeing a couple of double commits coming through from VamosSinPatas, causing the problems in the backline. Ball over the top, opportunity for Slothy to drop it down. Dreamy's over there, but Sori clears it away, and now Kaylee off that left side looking for support. He's got Dreamy middle. Denisinho rises highest though, and Sori can send the ball away. Stuffed by Slothy. Should be the second goal for 2M Day 3. And indeed it is 2-1.
The lovely read here. A beautiful challenge from Slothy. And has to get that shot on. That bump is pure perfection as well. And you might think Kaylee had the whole net to go for. Why strike right at the target? It forces out that bit of a break tap. It makes that target easier for Slothy to reach. That's another easy target, but Kaylee can't get that second touch. Slothy still manages to sneak it in the bottom corner. And for essentially mainstream debutants, very impressed with these two Englishmen.
And I think it's fair to say that the backboard defense coming through from VamosSinPatas has not been up to scratch. They are seriously struggling with that in their own moment. And there's another opportunity for someone in the middle. No one is going to be there, so Denisinho drives downfield, but Slothy gets a good stop. Now Dreamy has to send this one away. Gets in front of Denisinho. It'll be Escalera. Try and bring it through, but Dreamy intercepting now off this right-hand side. Waiting on it. Just waiting for the challenge to come through. Trying to frustrate VamosSinPatas and doing a very good job of it. Slothy doesn't get the 50 he was looking for. Escalera goes by. Cadley turns around. Gets past Denisinho. Is there someone to follow through? No. Tori wins the ball back.
Doesn't get that corner read. Tori wants it on the follow. It's the clearance out from the first man. 2M day 3. Tori has to keep it tight once more. And it is a really hard defense to try and crack. I'm really impressed with the positioning so far. Only conceded one, and there have been no further opportunities where you felt like VamosSinPatas have thrown away a clear chance, because those clear chances have simply never come. Cadley, though, might be able to create one for themselves. That one cleared out to the corner.
It is for the moment, and Slothy not able to get past Tori. Is that on target? Won't matter with Cadley recovering well, flying across the goal line. Denisinho still has possession, still has a flip reset, looking for more, not going to happen. And now Dreamy over to that right side. Tori picks the ball up on his bonnet. Cadley stuck between a rock and a hard place. The squishy save from Cadley is enough to send it away. Panic stations in the backlines for 2M day 3, but it's enough to deny VamosSinPatas for the moment. There might be another opportunity. In fact, it's going to go the other way. 2M day 3, but backboard defense. Hell yeah, Denisinho. VamosSinPatas learning.
We call that character development, but that fourth man has entered the pitch. A new challenger approaches, and no, it's not the woodwork this time. It's that timer at the top of your screen. Every second going down in favor of 2M day 3 in this opening game. Cadley picks up the 100 boost. Well, we've seen coast-to-coast attempts. That was from Osaf in the upper finals. Cadley quite going for the same here. Wants to just lay it off to Slothy, who not managed to get a touch of the ball. Dreamy, though, rounding off that third man position, is able to clamp on. Cadley can't find the target. Back off the back wall. Fluffy, dummy play, completely open for Cadley. And if that is intentional, Rhino, that is a stroke of pure genius.
I'm going to say it is. I'm absolutely going to give him the credit because I think it absolutely was. The fake is perfect. The communication between everyone on 2M day 3 is perfect in that play. So nice to watch. And I mean, they were 3-1 up. They didn't even need to really score. The demo on the back lines. VamosSinPatas, they want a GG go next, surely. They're not in this game one at all.
If you look at the team formation of 2M day 3, and I'm just talking about the rosters, not their positioning on the pitch, you see Dreamy alongside 2 Englishmen, and if you do look back at the Redirect Hall of Fame, it's very English dominated. However, one man does stand out, and that is Dreamy, who is clearly the Redirect greatest of all time, but does not come from the UK. The German has collected himself 4 Redirect championships out of 28. An unbelievable record to maintain, and that's without including the multitude of grand finals that he's been involved in. Paired alongside Cadley and Slothy, it looks like a potential other 2 Englishmen could be added to that pedigree.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way. I mean, a lovely shot there to kick things off for 2M day 3, and I thought VamosSinPatas were going to be able to get back into the game after equalizing, but from that moment it felt like it was all 2M day 3. They were going for those early challenges, making it difficult for VamosSinPatas to really deal with them. There was a demo on the back lines there, but it doesn't come to anything, and everything just felt that little bit sloppy, that little bit slower coming through from VamosSinPatas. 2M day 3 did a great job of keeping up the pace and making it difficult for VamosSinPatas not only to be defensively strong, but also to attack with any ferocity.
I feel like a lot of people as well heading into this game would look at those rosters on either side and favour actually VamosSinPatas, not just because they're a full Spaniard team and should have that chemistry, but you've got very experienced players, especially in these kinds of tournaments, and RLCF itself in the form of Denisinho, who's been part of the scene for quite some time. He's been somewhat silenced in this first game, which we didn't even really see from the likes of FNosKe in that upper final.
Yeah, absolutely, and that does make that potential grand final a mouth-watering prospect, and it might be a step closer here. What a couple of saves from VamosSinPatas. They keep Their defense strong for the moment. Team bumps coming through from 2MD3. Everyone just trying to settle into game number 2. Escalera doesn't allow it, climbing the ladder to success. VamosSinPatas take the lead 1-0.
One extra rung, but they've got to keep on climbing. They haven't quite yet kept up with 2MD3. We've already seen in this second game some of their defensive heroics that they are able to pull off. Now it's got to equal the final third of a pitch. Denesinho trying to set up Escalera, but 2MD3 managed to work their way around the box between each other. Get this one out wide. Dreamy wants to tap it back into that central area to Sloppy off that backboard again. The defense is gone that you called for before, Rhino, but that one not going to be as egregious of a chance. That one certainly is too much space for Cadley.
Yeah, and you were talking about the fact that every single time you see Cadley, he just gets better and better, and that's a good example of it. The reset as he hits that ball onto the backboard, so he has a flip to use going into the goal. Beautiful work for 2MD3, and Cadley specifically a lovely solo goal to get them back level 1-1.
Lara, the ball was just wide of a target, but it was still vital. That's he got that touch. VamosSinPatas guessing, and now to rework from their own third, having to defend their lines as well. A sneaky shot. Left its way through. Sloppy tapped it down. Escalera gets that first block again. It's a bit awkward here at the recovery there from Sloppy. Still ultimately able to pick themselves up to 100 boost, ready to defend that first ball. Has to tap that one close. Recognizes that space in the corner and gets the 50 thereafter. Lovely way to lure out two of those offensive players of VamosSinPatas. And overall, it's a rather composed defense from 2MD3.
Yes, absolutely. We'll see if their offense can be just as composed. Tori stuffs them before they can even get things going, though. I thought Dreamy might have been going for that psycho we've been calling for there, but decides to back away from it. I don't blame you, Escalera. Takes it forwards. Kaylee sends it over to the right-hand side, but now doesn't really have any boost for this attack. Dreamy might not need him, though. Looking for that ground pinch into the middle. Won't get all of it, and it will be a save coming through from VamosSinPatas. Another early challenge there from Slothy, and that's that speed I was talking about in between games. And there is Kaylee. The second opportunity he gets in the game, he converts once more. 2-1. 2MD3 turn the game around.
And it's one thing to strike fast, it's another to strike accurately. But Cadley, a master of both those actions. What a series he's been having so far. It was not my expected main player off the roster. That title, of course, goes to one of the greats of the tournament, Dreamy. So he has taken a bit more of a back seat, played a lot deeper, has gone for a lot of these layoff balls here, and just allowed a lot more of these more youthful talent in redirect monthly terms to themselves up, and they certainly have. Kaylee for a side will go and get that one on target. Backboard instead, that's just as open.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before with VamosSinPatas, that backboard, but they don't need it. They turn defense into offense at the speed of light. Denesinho off the right-hand side, a pinch forward. Slothy not ready for it. Kaylee not back in time. And the speed, the precision, and the power comes through from the Spaniards to level the score 2-2.
This does feel like one of those series now that could go all the distance, but we could say that about the upper finals as well. It's about getting that final strike in, that little bit of efficiency in the final minutes where it has been lacking from VamosSinPatas in recent games. Dream Day 3 though so far looking like a team that can get the job done, like those that have already guaranteed themselves a grand final spot. Dreamy might have earned himself a return.
This is beautiful from Dreamy. Exactly the shot positioning you needed. Just in off that right, that top right post. Beautifully done, as there was a defender there just not ready for that one particular pixel. That is going to be enough for 2MD3 to take an early lead, and there might be another one. Dreamy's got two on the game in about 2 seconds. 2MD3 extend 2 goals ahead.
I feel like VamosSinPatas have somewhat of a half-time curse. It feels like if they're playing well in the first half of the game, they'll start to drop that quality in the second. Yet the other way reigns true as well, where we saw some 4-0, 3-0 leads from FNosKe in the upper finals get reduced to just a 1-goal difference, and it's too little too late. As soon as this team can keep that consistency throughout the full 5 minutes, that's when they'll look like a grand finals caliber team.
Yeah, certainly. See now down this right-hand side, it will be dealt with here by Denisinho. We do know one thing about VamosSinPatas is that they will never give up. We saw that in the upper bracket final. We know that this team wants to continue to batter down the other team. They want to try and find a way through. They don't feel like they're finished until that 0 seconds hits, and even then, sometimes 10 minutes after. Slothy pops this one up. Going to be picked up by Kaylee. Another opportunity for him. Ball dropped in front of the net. Kaylee, finish that, please. Thank you very much. Yeah, Slothy, what happened? I've got no idea. But either way, they still find 5.
Dreamy there, and just setting up his teammates as well, letting them farm a little bit of points. He's had his time in the spotlight. He's had 28 months of it. But now, Haley can step in once more, and it will count to the stat sheets. It will point us in that direction of a blinding Kaylee performance. That's why you don't just look at stats, ladies and gentlemen. But in this case, if you watch the games as well, at least that truth still remains as such.
Yeah, it certainly does. And 30 seconds remain to find 3 goals. Just doesn't feel like it's quite going to happen for them on this game. And we've seen VamosSinPatas be 2-0 down in a best-of-5 already tonight. And we know what happened there. If anyone wants dinner tonight, I hope you have it just on warm in the oven, all right? Don't expect to be eating anytime soon. As Dreamy pops this forwards, looking for that pass off the ceiling. Not going to happen. Denisinho tries to send it away, but finally, zeros will hit. The ball will drop. 2M, Day 3 fan club. They are free. They have 3 opportunities to win this lower bracket final and go for a rematch against FNosKe.
Well, the third game was where we saw that extreme overtime in the upper finals, and Lord forbid it happens again, Ryan. The time zones might just change.
Yeah, you never know, but here we go. The replays from that game, all pretty much in favor of 2M Day 3. It was a bright start from VamosSinPatas, though, Pegasus, and I really liked what I was seeing in the first kind of minute and a half from the Spaniards. But as soon as that half certainly started to fade away, it felt like so did they.
Yeah, they started to somewhat lose it in that second half, but heading into this third game, when it is just a completely fresh start for them, we've seen this so many times from VamosSinPatas. They have had bad passages of playing the upper finals. They've also had great passages of playing the upper finals, but then it felt like when we were heading into the next game, nothing was retained. They had a good game, it could go back to a bad game. They had a bad game, it might just all of a sudden go to a good game. I've never seen a team able to reset themselves like this, both in a positive and a negative fashion between any game given, like VamosSinPatas. So which version of them will we get here in game 3? We'll leave that to a dice roll.
Yeah, here we go. Kaylee gonna look for that early start from 2M Day 3. Not gonna happen on this occasion. And Denisinho tries to send it away, gets bumped for his trouble. Dreamy gets a block and too much more. Push it over to that right-hand side. Escalera tries to take a shot now out of the corner. Will be sent away. And Kaylee, 2 collects, gets past 2. He's got Dreamy for support. But Dreamy not in a position to get there. Slothy might be top right corner. Postage stamp 1-0.
That's how you open up the scoring. That's how you look to secure your spot in the grand finals. You said posting stamp, and there's no prizes for guessing where that address is heading towards. VamosSinPatas have their chance to throw it in the shredder. 4 minutes, 30 seconds for an impact, but this double looks to get increased here by Kaylee. That 50 doesn't quite land in their favor, and Slothy is brought back to their own corner.
He certainly is, and looking to turn defense into offense at a rather considerable speed. Not this time. The pre-jump from Kaylee. They're starting to have a bit of fun here, 2M Day 3. They know they're in the driver's seat. They now have to start taking things a little bit more seriously as This is beautiful from Denisinho, playing it forwards off the backboard, and Tori finds an incredible angle across into the middle. No one ready for that one. And it's all square, 1-1.
That is a definition of a goal that was better on the second watch. I felt like I could not fully appreciate it when it found the back of the net. There's no surprises that the defense was shocked as well. That was a bit of a misplay there from Kaylee off the ceiling. Thought they were already stuck to it, wanted to jump off instead. Ended up being forced to make a flick. Kaylee gets their second chance for a flip reset. This is a much better use, but Galera to cover all angles. Dino wants to take it off that back wall, and it's both teams having a bit of a freestyle 1v1 so far. Kaylee keeps it simple though off that back wall. Has it stolen away by teammate Dreamy. That was enough to trick that first defender. Now there's space in the central area of the pitch. I don't like that hit because all three VamosSinPatas players were ready in that corner.
They certainly were. As now Slothy tries to play a ball into the middle. Denisinho follows it through, wants the musty clear instead, plays it to himself off the side wall. Now Dreamy plays it across to a teammate. 2M day 3 looking to build now. Reset. Going low, missing the second touch, and no bump found on the back line means that VamosSinPatas can move back forwards. Now on the left-hand side, it's intercepted by Dreamy. Slothy looking for the pass back to Kaylee. A lovely three-man passing play, but it's behind Dreamy in that right-hand corner. I really like what 2M day 3 are trying to do, though. Those three-man passing plays look so good. Is that going to find its home? No, it's not. Good save, Slothy.
But it's enough to keep you guessing because you know all three of them can throw a strike on net from any angle at any given time. But you also know that they can go for the dummy plays like they did in Game 2 as well. It feels like for some of these challenges, you're playing multiple games of rock, paper, scissors and make one wrong draw. 2M day 3 increase the score sheet.
Does feel that way. We've now played over half of this Game 3. Denisinho gets past one. Got another one to challenge, and actually Slothy will take it away from him. Gets a good 50 onto Tori as well. Escalera into the middle. Denisinho decides not to go for it, and that's a good decision. Demo coming through onto Dennis. Kaylee out of the corner. Can he find the angle? Looking for it. Of course he can! Kaylee, that's special. Top left corner. 2-1.
Unbelievable! And that will be counted as a redirect straight off the corner. That's one for the highlight package. Kaylee, the debutant, the hero for 2M day 3. Dreamy picks it up with his experience. Kaylee's back on, and there is an extra ounce of life for VamosSinPatas to again fight against, but this feels like too much for them to handle.
Feels like it might be, especially if this one goes home. Another fake coming through from Slothy. But it's dealt with well by Vamos, and now they go up the other end. There's a chance for Escalera. Good save on the goal line by who else? Kaylee. Ball off the backboard now, sent away by that man again. He's got no boost to follow through, so Denisinho intercepts, gets the reset, goes low, fakes one out. Dreamy, where you going, son? Does enough, though, to stop him, and it's sent to the side by Kaylee.
Dreamy back on with control. Slothy will take this one over. The overlapping run still there. Looks to clamp down to keep this offense moving by Escalera. It's quick with the control, but they need to be quick to get a goal because there's 60 seconds remaining. Slothy back in possession, and that timer once more favoring 2M day 3. That shot opportunity as well should have been there to take away. As Tori, zero boost on the left wall, has to play tricks to get past Kaylee, but still ends up being the perfect position. Dreamy's on that backboard. The next goal will surely be the nail in the coffin. Kaylee might just collect, but Tori keeps this ball flowing.
Yeah, now Slothy going over the top. 30 seconds left on the clock for VamosSinPatas to find something. We know they won't give up, but Kaylee might force them to. Looking for the 50 play. Tori does well. It's not enough. Dreamy slots home right at the back post. Tori got the challenge on the first, and it was so good as well to just be able to push Kaylee away. Couldn't jump up for the second, had no help whatsoever. And with 20 seconds left, Pig, I think we know who our grand finalists are going to be.
Unless the kickoff goals are in VamosSinPatas' favour, they are not. Another chance come through. For a second there, I thought we were going to see goal 4-3. Was, however, the magic number. 10 seconds remain, and 2M day 3 will be the team earning their rematch against FNosKe. That one was not seen on camera, but this looks like a team that is raring to go after this performance. They looked like they had all the cohesion you could possibly ask for from 3 players in the lower bracket. They did not at all subdue due to the pressure, and VamosSinPatas were already a team that were holding it close against FNosKe.
Yeah, they were, and that's the point that I was actually going to make, is that 2M Day 3 actually looks like they were able to beat VamosSinPatas almost easier, make it look a lot easier than it was for FNosKe. So, tails up, confidence, momentum, all of that kind of stuff now for 2M Day 3. The problem that they've got is they start the grand final 1 game behind, and how important could that be between these 2 teams?
It's going to be so important, especially if that first game does not go in your favor. I say this every time, but a 2-0 is such a mountain to have to climb if that first game doesn't go with you. But where 2M Day 3 Fan Club actually have a little bit of a buff here is the experience of dreaming in these redirect monthlies. A 4-time champion looking to make it 5 in number 28 with 2 different Englishmen than we are used to seeing in that grand final spot, and some other players on the side of FNosKe that necessarily haven't reached these heights before for these monthlies.
Not in these events, but they have definitely been part of events that have got to this point, right? I mean, we've seen these guys all over the place. The only maybe example that where that's not the case is Ozaf. The other 2, of course, we do know that they have been to the top of the mountain in many other competitions, but Ozaf is the question mark. Ozaf is the new blood, and I'm excited to see him now coming into this grand final, seeing how he deals with the pressure of his team, basically relying on him to come up with those incredible plays we know he can.
And it's going to be a little bit of a German clash as well between himself and Dreamy, the experienced German versus the lesser experienced German in this Rocket League scene. But Ozaf looks like he's been playing for years with that performance he had in the uppers. I must say, I felt like he showed up his teammates. I felt like he showed up the entire lobby. He's definitely been my MVP of the day so far, and that's not even to do with the fact that he did it in an upper finals. It was just purely based on gameplay. But 2 of the, I would say, least sweepiest, almost sweeps happened there for today's broadcast so far, and I feel like this grand finals will at least be a bit closer on the series score. However, there's something else we want to talk about today, as much as we also want to crown a Redirects 3v3 monthly number 28 champion. We want to tell the story of a team looking to become champion at the highest level. RDR Prod has been announced for the RLCS, a team consisting of Hazza, myself, yourself, and Quantek as well. And do you want to have some words about why this project was formed in the first place? Because, guys, it's been in the work for quite some time.
we have been talking about this project for quite a while, and to be honest, it was all based on the fact that we've seen a steady decline in the quality of team streams on RLCS over the past couple of seasons. And we remember back in the day when team streams were all the rage, and you had the very highest level production, the very highest level talent on team streams every single season. And we want to get back to that. We want to make team streams great again. And so we have formed our team. All right. We've got 4 of us. All 4 of us are very, very good friends outside of the game. And we believe that as a unit, we can provide one of the greatest team stream experiences for anybody in the coming RLCS season. And we stand by that statement. We believe that to be true. And if you don't believe me, we've prepared a video to show you exactly why we think that's the case. We'll see you on the other side of this short break.
Welcome to the Redirect 3v3 Monthly. Last month, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We had TTV Velocity RL taking on Project Jamal in that upper final. And well, it's in the name. Velocity RL made rather swift action of their opponents, forcing them down into the lower brackets versus ZGDX. And Project Jamal seemingly learning a lesson from their previous opponents, enacted a rather similar force against this orange-sided team. They earned their rematch here in the grand finals, where despite a greater fight coming from Project Jamal, Velocity RL forced themselves to a match point overtime, where ultimately Velocity RL collected Redirect 23's championship. They'll be returning here for the into their lifestyles as well, but now here playing in their own tournament for charity, they've got something here to prove, especially against this roster of Ascend, a name which has such history behind it and a player that we both very much.
But we've got our upper bracket final to sort out first.
And well, we've had plenty of time to hype up this upcoming game. Seed 1 versus Seed 3. A little bit of a change to the script here. Strike will be struck, looking to make that difference. It's time for the upper finals. I saw that ball forward there from Haven, but Hoppy Tie and a full tank of boost endpoint have been so consistent defensively. Redirect 3v3 monthly 28 looks to reach its conclusion with the grand finals. New entries into the Hall of Fame are guaranteed by the end of this final best of 7, a weighted best of 7, of course, with FNosKe earning their spot here after defeating VamosSinPatas, the very same team that 2M Day 3 Fanclub were able to sweep in that lowest. So this is actually a rematch from a little bit earlier in the day of that upper semi-finals, a matchup which we have not seen yet on stream, but with the way both of these teams have been playing so far, Rhino, this feels like one that, despite the advantage, could go either way.
Yeah, it certainly does. Pegasus very excited to go into this grand final. As you rightly said, there are players on either side who are unknown quantities, who are becoming more and more known by the day. And there is your grand final matchups. It's Finzi, Kekos, and Ozaft taking on Dreamy, Kadley, and Slothy. And Pegasus, I wouldn't really want to choose which way this game is going to go. It really could go to either side. Both teams able to beat VamosSinPatas to get to this point. And now we get to decide who between them, after an earlier game between them went very in favor of FNosKe, will be finding themselves as Redirect Monthly 3v3 number 28 champion.
Ozaft as well, going to be facing off against Dreamy. Ozaft definitely been the best player of the day. I don't think that's going to be put into question for anyone who was here for the broadcast. Kadley also having a fantastic performance in that lower finals, but Dreamy, he's been in this spot before. He's picked up 4 grand final wins here for the Redirect 3v3 monthlies, and to make it 5 would be a fantastic achievement for him, especially alongside what is Redirect new bloods Kadley and Slothy.
Certainly. Well, we have finished talking. We've kept the players for too long. History will be written, but for which side? FNosKe taking on 2M Day 3 Fanclub in the Redirects 3v3 Grand Final!
Finzi, Kekos, and Ozaft. Not a single trophy between the three for these Redirect monthlies. 4 collected from Dreamy alone. But the 2 alongside him also looking for that spot on the Hall of Fame. But all eyes are on Ozaft, that new name in the European scene that's been making quite the name for themselves. And those waves, of course, extend to the grandest monthly European tournament that Rocket League has to offer.
Absolutely, and we will see if the orange curse continues, because of course only on the mainstream today we have only seen orange side victories. FNosKe now gonna have to try and prove that wrong, and with this man they really have an opportunity of doing it. Reset over the top, Kekos takes it through, that's on target but saved away by Kadley into the corner. Now off that side wall, Ozaft into the middle, looking for a teammate, gets a bump. That's beautiful play! FNosKe score the first goal of the grand final.
Explosive start from FNosKe. A wonderful bump, like you mentioned there, from Ozaft, but already you can see that pace of play, which was characteristic of FNosKe in the upper final, bleed its way into the grands as well. This is not going to be an easy team to keep up with, and 2M Day 3 are a fast team in their own regards. Use the speed against their opponents on that occasion for the fake Finzi vote. Able to get that clearance out to the corner. Kekos will boom it forward. Kadley has to recover themselves on that sidewall for the few extra touches. Dreamy can't pick up the pace, and that was a 1v1. Slothy in an awkward position, but the backboard is hit, and Kekos needs to try and strike back.
Yeah, can't do so. Ozaft going to be left in that third man position, trying to bring this one round. Past midfield. Dreamy decided not to go for it. Will collect the ball on that sidewall. Cleared away by Kekos. And now FNosKe try to build something, but it's good midfield defense from 2M Day 3 for the moment. It's not going to continue, though, as Dreamy now collects off the backboard, trying to pinch it long. Only as far as Finzi out of the corner, looking for a teammate. Missed by Kadley. Ozaft brings the ball down, got another bite at the cherry. Doesn't really have anything to do about it. The demo does come in onto the 2M Day 3 player. It's still FNosKe advantage until Slothy brings this ball away.
Ball off a corner. It's a chase here between Dreamy and Kekos. Kekos going out on top, but There's a good loose ball collection there from Kaylee. Able to get that 50 forward, however, after FNosKe gets off that backboard. Osaf wants that double tap. Gets it from high. A tough angle to catch. Not much time to get himself above the ball. But this is Osaf we're talking about.
Yeah, whenever you think a play might not be possible, this young German proves everybody wrong. And he puts that one onto the backboard, dunks it down with ease. And we mentioned in between games as well, Pegasus, that Osaf seems to make the very difficult look very easy. And he did just there again. There is one more opportunity for the side of FNosKe, and they have shown up in game 1 of the grand final.
And this is how you silence your opponents. After they've picked up a sweep in that lower finals, they've earned their spots here in Grands. They feel like the top dogs, and FNosKe prove that there's always a bigger fish in the ocean, and they are certainly the largest right now. 2M day 3. They've got quite their work cut out for them. Ball collects on that back wall. Finzi, though, has found a spot. Sloppy will sneak that one out. Dreamy as well gets that clearance. Likely should be 4. The defense starting to improve. It's going to need a lot more than just defensive capabilities to see out this first played game.
And here we go. Kekos going to run the length. He fakes one out. He looks to get the bump on the second. Kekos, that is exceptional. Coast to coast. Gets the reset. Doesn't use it. Gets Slothy gone. And then the bump onto Dreamy is special. FNosKe 4-0 up with an exceptional goal.
The most unpredictable team we have ever seen in a redirect grand finals. They don't just have one game plan. A to Z is not enough. They go that extra distance. Fake. Shot. What's Osaf going for? Keeps it simple. Keeps it close. Kekos, though. Couldn't 50 its way through. He has lingered, though, around that corner. Chooses to bail away, though. As Kaylee's able to pick up a bit of control. No boost left in the tank, however. That's going to drop favourably for a blue-sided player. You spoke about coast to coast before. Kekos wanted it this time. It's been blocked rather bluntly there from Slothy, who cannot get that one down to a teammate.
No, couldn't. And now Kaylee into the middle, looking for the pass. Finzi clears away with authority. And it's looking worse and worse for 2M day 3. Kekos trying to get the shot. Dreamy didn't really have to do much to make that save. Kind of hit into him. Shot wasn't on target either. You can see Osaf playing as that third man, just waiting for the ball to come over his head and make a play. Wasn't actually able to keep possession of that ball on that occasion. And now there's a chance for 2M day 3. But Kekos is back to make a big save and get that second 50 as well. I can't really pick anything that FNosKe are doing badly in this game at all.
Hold on, the demo, though. First strike comes through. And it's less off their own back and more of the impressive offense of 2M day 3. It's a gorgeous pass from Dreamy. A demo as well opens up space. But Kaylee, all pressure on him. The sky's the limit. And he somehow finds that perfect placement and power.
Oh, no way.
Kickoff. Oh, Kaylee was right on back into action. A double save as well to follow up. I thought there that was going to be momentum thrown right back at them.
It's very close, wasn't it? Osaf, again, just being able to almost glide through the air. It doesn't look like he needs any boost in order to be able to keep that ball on his bonnet. Doesn't happen this time. Opportunity for Dreamy. Bump on the goal line. Not enough. Osaf sending it away. Now looking to get that ground pinch. Nothing doing. Kaylee pinches that off the sidewall into the middle. Finzi to bring it away in 3 goals in 30 seconds. Mathematically possible and definitely possible now as they do find a way back. Dreamy scores. FNosKe pegged back 4-2.
And this is where we start to see a bit of light in the eyes of the 2M day 3 players. 24 seconds might be a lot to ask for in this first game. Only heading into the next, you're looking at them with a little bit more open arms. That's a great kickoff in their favour. Kaylee, though, makes a hash of that first jump. Wanted to keep it close, go for the mind game, perhaps even wave dash into the ball instead. They have to build up back up from outside the box, and it's going to be simply too long to get this ball in the back of the net, to the point where even if they did, it's likely that FNosKe could just slow it down on the kickoff. And that's it set in stone. It's going to be a 2-0 series lead for FNosKe. 1 played on a pitch, 1 already guaranteed from that upper finals result. But 2M day 3 Fanclub did somewhat subvert our expectations a little bit later into the series.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it looked so convincing from the side of FNosKe for most of that game. There was that moment towards the end of the game where 2M2 started to come back into it, but we've talked about it before this game off of stream, Pegasus, and that is how important game number 1 in the grand final of a Redirect 3v3 monthly is, because the team coming from the upper final already go a game up. So now, FNosKe, rather than being 1-0 up and us looking at this as a best of 7 kind of situation, they're now 2-0 up. They're halfway there to becoming Redirect monthly champions. And that, just that mental note of seeing that 2 against you is going to be a little concerning, you would think, for the side of 2M Day 3 Fanclub.
I can say it from experience. Being 2-0 behind in a series, it's such a long distance to try and go, especially in a best of 7, when you know that even if you get those 2 games back, they could just pick up the next, and all of a sudden you're chasing once more. But Lord forbid that it's free and you have to reverse sweep. So you've got to look at it from that positive mindset. 2M Day 3 did improve in the second half of that first game, but we've seen certain teams somewhat reset between games, all good and bad. 2M Day 3 though, I don't think I'm going to have that same aspect behind them. They'll be able to build up in game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. As we do get into the second game, kind of net third, I guess, if you want to say it, of this grand final. And there will be an opportunity here. Slothy just doesn't get anything on it. Cadley puts the ball up and saved away by Ozaft, who rises highest above both of his teammates to make that save. So it's a very nervy start for the side of FNosKe. They do enough to turn 2M Day 3 away for the moment, and now Kekos has an opportunity to go downfield. He's not got it. Ozaft had to scramble across his goal line and make the save. And the speed of this kid, he's able to make it.
Vinci back at that corner. Double commit coming through here from 2M Day 3, but they somehow made it work. Both players actually getting a touch off that ball. A bump there as well from Dreamy. It's a tough first touch to make. Where did he come from? No. Screw professionalism. He got bumped. How is he back in the play? This kid is unbelievable.
Somehow able to keep up with what's going on. Ball over to this left-hand side. It's down to Kekos to try and meet it for his team, but he doesn't read it as well as Cadley does. But the clearance in from Ozaft, he might have found the bottom left corner. No, he's going to try and chase that ball down. Slothy very concerned about Ozaft on the ball. Cadley will be the one to send it away. Finzi sends it right back off the ceiling. Cleared by Dreamy. And now Kekos, opportunity, but his teammate got in the way. Finzi couldn't move out of the way in time. Oh, Kekos, big dusting on that backboard. Still nothing doing. And FNosKe, although they had a very bright start to game number 1 of this final, it's taken them a little longer to get going in game 2.
Very bunched up here, FNosKe as well. Going to make it tougher for them to build up our defense. Dreamy doesn't get that touch. We've seen those corner reads many times fall successfully for him. This was not one of those occasions. Gloffies, oh, good flip there. I feel like actually acted as a fake on Fincy. Sometimes that's what it requires. Cadley to fight his way through. Both teams do have that level of respect where you would expect a touch from the player if they do head themselves towards the ball. That can go against you. Kekos, that shot has gone against him. Wanted to slam that one down, keep it on target. Dreamy gets the fake as well on his own goal line. A fake on the second man as well. Full composure from 2M Day 3, despite the series standards. Oh my goodness, Dreamy.
And this is the thing with the players that you've got on 2M Day 3. They have been in positions like this before. They're not going to be concerned seeing the 2-0 scoreline. Finzi gets that clearance. Ozaft just pops the ball high. Kately's ready for it. Oh, Ozaft has that boost stolen from him by Finzi. I know who I'd rather have with a full tank of boost. No disrespect to the Finnish resident. But at the same time, if Ozaft wants boost, I would personally give him boost. As Kately into the corner, cleared away by Ozaft. Ball into the middle, cleared away by Kekos. Is it over the top of Slothy? No, it's not. The recovery much better. And I think that's the big thing about 2M Day 3 in this grand final now, is that they have really locked in on that communication. Their third man isn't pressing forward as much, and that is giving FNosKe a lot less to be able to find a gap in, if that makes sense.
This feels like a game that is certainly settled, and they need to use this opportunity. Dreamy has It's a wonderful drop-down pass from Cadley. Redirect across to find him, and Finzi, left alone, has to make a guess there. Left, right, or center. As close as you're going to get to a penalty in Rocket League. And Dreamy, cold as ice, puts those away.
Maybe a game back here for the side of 2M Day 3, unless this man has something to say about it. Ozaft cannot get the better of the backline. Kekos into the middle. Finzi doesn't decide to go for that, and the clearance in from Cadley. We have seen FNosKe in this position before, where they're a bit over-aggressive trying to get the goal back. Maybe we will see that again. Maybe they will just get it. No! Cadley on the goal line makes a big save, but right now it is all FNosKe trying to get that equalizer for their side.
So close to picking up an own goal there as well, but they have survived, and their second goal could be in the correct net if they pick this up. But Finzi's clearance and second touch, actually. It's going to see that pressure back on 2M Day 3, though Cadley makes light work of it. Pressure, what pressure? That's the tie as Dreamy sends that to the corner. Dropped down by Kekos once more. FNosKe, as much as they've been able to get the ball out of their half, once they're in the final third, possession doesn't remain for long. Cadley, flip, reset, stays on. Ozaft gets the clear.
Yeah, it does, and now tries to follow this one through. Won't get the 100 boost, though, and that's going to cause problems because the tanks are low for FNosKe. 2M Day 3 doing a good job of boost starving them, but that touch isn't going to help them at all. Ozaft gets past one. He's looking at Dreamy now. Does get the better of him, but not as he would have liked. And with 10 seconds remaining, how did that happen? It feels like this game has only just started, but it does seem to be going the way of 2M Day 3. 1 second remaining. Ball will remain up. Can they keep it alive? Dreamy pops the ball high, but the demo on the backlines is enough. And 2M Day 3 Fan Club get a game back at the... And I mean, it was so tricky for them to do it. Only a 1-goal game, but Pegasus, they fought really, really hard for that.
They were the better team as well. They were deserving of that win. 12 shots in their favor versus the 5 of FNosKe. We haven't really seen them so silent before, but 2M Day 3 in that second played game of the series really stepped themselves up. Cadley, Dreamy, and Slothy. This feels like the first time we've really seen all 3 players properly locked in together for a game. But like sometimes we did delve into the Cadley show in that lower finals, but Dreamy grand finals, this is where he thrives, and he really did in that last game, especially with that final touch. It's a small note to add, but on 0 seconds, Dreamy could go for the sidewall, could go for glory, keeps it professional, slams it right on down.
And that's exactly what you should be doing. I know there's a certain Irishman who you've casted with quite a lot in your time who would be very, very proud of that movement. But that's exactly what you want to see, right? We've seen Dreamy, Cadley, and Slothy get a little bit creative, get a little bit free play in that lower bracket final. None of that in that game just gone. They were professional. They wanted the victory. They got the victory. It's now down to FNosKe to try and get this one back, and Finzi has an early chance. Dreamy ready for it, makes a save. Ozaft trying again, gets the pass back. Kekos backboard. Cadley just gets an extra touch. That's enough to take it away from the oncoming Kekos.
3 players there at that front post. Dreamy's able to skip his way through 2. And almost got that tough angle once more. We've seen him lit off earlier today. This time not going to be so fortunate. Finzi, despite someone pulling on his shirt, able to get that musty flick forward. Dreamy wanted to keep this fight going in this midfield third. This has been a game that has been much closer as time has gone on. 2 players required to tip that one outright. FNosKe, these 2 chances go away off the back of fantastic responses from 2M Day 3. You can't critique the efficiency of FNosKe.
You absolutely can't. They do a great job, and now 2M Day 3 going to have another opportunity. Again, tanks low on the side of FNosKe, and that might come back to bite them. No, Finzi makes it work with what little he had. Another opportunity for Dreamy, but that's wayward. Maybe looking for the pass across to Cadley, who has been lights out throughout the entirety of this evening. It's not going to happen for him yet, and all of a sudden there's a little bit of quiet as Cadley takes a shot, but he's third man. Ozaft drops it from him. That's a freebie for the new boy, and the orange juice comes back to haunt 2M Day 3.
That's such a tough way to lose that first goal, especially with how strong this team has been defensively. That should have been their attack. There is a demo as well, but if there's one player who always finds a way, it's Osaf off the backboard yet again. You better get that read because he's ready for the second touch. Once more. Pops that one high. Actually, rather, he left that one for the third. Instead, he's allowed that to hang in the midfield, and 2MD3 have been able to build themselves up. That Vice will start to tighten. Osaf to try and himself out of it. Plays the mind game off that first ball. Incredible. I mean, Dreamy goes forward with this and feels obliged to make that second jump. Because who doesn't just panic flip into that open net? Not Osaf. 3 levels ahead. 2-0 to FNosKe. This is looking like game 1.
You can tell that he thrives in a ones environment, right? When he's one-on-one with a defender, he seems to be able to get that one. But Dreamy, he's stepping up here. Big kickoff victory for 2MD3, and they make it into something. Great finish from Dreamy to get them back within 1. I did want to mention, though, quickly on Osaf, it felt like he was a little bit quiet in game 2. He's standing up and being counted in game 3.
Absolutely. That's going to be concerning for these opponents. It felt like you needed almost an extra man to mark him in the uppers, and you don't want to afford that in this game. But Dreamy being the nightmare for FNosKe. 2 quick goals to get back in the game. Did I say this was like game 1? This is in a league of its own.
Certainly is, unlike anything we've seen so far in this grand finals. And suddenly 2MD3 off the back of a Dreamy resurgence. Another player who it's fair to say we've not seen all that much of this evening. He was riding the coattails at times of Cadley. But no, in this game 3, in this moment, Dreamy, he is also stepping up. And everyone across the board should have very warm hands. We've been playing Rocket League in this monthly since 3 p.m. this afternoon, British time. And we will continue to play for a little bit longer. Finzi down the right-hand side. Dreamy will send it away, but a boost steal from the side of FNosKe could cause problems. Kekos looking for that pass. Who else? It's Osaf, but he's stuffed by 2.
£30 already guaranteed for both of these teams, but it's going to be 70 for the champion and a spot in that Hall of Fame. Both teams have players that are looking for that for the first time, and so far you can see that hunger from both of these rosters. Kekos looks to take it over. Finzi, though, as well to bail away. Doesn't want to force any of those chances. They know that any counter-attack from either side is going to be lights out. That one's falling down disfavourably. It's going to feel unfortunate for 2MD3. That's what happens when you place yourself high. You've got to accept there's always a chance this could happen.
Yeah, Slothy just not ready for that challenge, I don't think, from Finzi. Otherwise, he would have flicked into it, but didn't happen. And no one was back in position for 2MD3. Can they get themselves back level as they have done already once so far? And almost that man again. Looking for the hat-trick was Dreamy, but not this time. Ball into the middle from FNosKe, but will be cleared away by 2MD3. There's now Cadley. Collect. Quiet in game 3. Looking now to make some noise. And it will be Slothy surely to slot it. No, not on this occasion. And Kekos back the other way. Looking to stand Dreamy up, but Dreamy's too smart.
That was an early jump from Cadley and almost messed up their teammate in that 1v1 position, but Slothy was able to keep their cool. It's going to be back onto that sidewall. Cadley wants to turn off the shoulder for it. At least stays grounded towards that wall, so it'll be a quick recovery back in defense. Has to place behind Slothy. Doesn't get that second touch. It's another all or nothing attack. They feel the latter, but not much more. Slothy once again holds this team to survival. Cadley is looking for extra. They want to fry, but Osaf holds it alone on his own lines.
Feels rude. It feels disrespectful to save a shot like that. Do you know what I mean? One of those where just let it in, bro. You know, but either way, Finzi has robbed it. Downfield, empty net, bottom left corner. Finzi rocking into the bottom left-hand corner, and FNosKe, they could have been 3-3 just a moment ago. But defense turns to offense in the blink of an eye. And with 20 seconds remaining, FNosKe look like they're going to be one game away from glory.
Parts of this game, like you said, have felt disrespectful, but Dreamy will grab it right back. I would say that FNosKe slapped the faces of 2M Day 3 with that fourth goal. But Dreamy's decided to sucker punch them right back. It's going to be a little bit daisy for these next 20 seconds, but they have to hold on because it doesn't feel like out the realms of possibility that this scoreline could be equal. It won't come from Sloppy's chance. Kaylee looks to use a teammate. A backboard is defended. And that was the difference maker that got 2M Day 3 in this final spot in the first place compared to their opponents. But now it's 0 seconds. Has to slam the ground, do FNosKe. 2M Day 3 do not manage to keep it high. Match point situation. This isn't a best of 5, but it will be 3 on-game wins still to secure a championship for FNosKe.
Yeah, and although he mentioned that this game felt like its own entity in the context of this series, it did almost have that Game 1 vibes again because teams were free scoring, right? There was simply a moment that they had an opening and they all of a sudden capitalized on it. That goal from Ozaft cannot be understated just how good that is. And I mean, all of a sudden 2M Day 3 starts to get back into it. But FNosKe, what more can you say? Their communication, the way they're able to get that defense turning into offense, the way they're able to take those early challenges. It's been a way that they've played all evening, and they've looked so good doing it. I think 2M Day 3 need to try and play that little bit quicker to be able to keep up with them.
And we know that they've got that caliber. There have been shines of brilliance from them where they've proven their mettle, they've proven their character. They've also shown a lot of personality in this game as well. There have been times where they have been trailing and you haven't seen them slow down. In fact, that's when they start to increase the pressure. This isn't going to be a team that gives up. This isn't going to be a team that leaves before 0 seconds, which we might have seen in previous redirect monthlies. These are two teams that are going to fight tooth and nail, leaving nothing on the pitch and secure themselves a spot in the redirect Hall of Fame.
We'll see if they can. They've got 3 opportunities now to do just that, and that's an immediate save from Ozaft. Gets up well. Now Ozaft sends it down this left-hand side. Cleared over to the right-hand side for Kekos. Plays it forwards. Kadley pops it high. Will be Finzi now to take over, but he's immediately met by Kadley. Top left corner, almost found. Ozaft once again makes a big save for his side.
Back in the corners, Ozaft. Able to beat one. Used to have a 1v1 playlist. That second play is too much. Dreamy wants it off back corner. It's blocked off by Kekos, but still felt a position that still feels favourable for the defensive team. Made that clearance a lot simpler. And able to build up off the back of it. Ozaft back on. That's the bail away for Finzi. It's pinching off into the corner. We've seen a few games where we've gotten a lot of these early goals in the first minute. This time it is settled for both sides. Sloppy wants to slam it back forward. It is end-to-end on this side. Well, Dreamy leaves it for Sloppy. Well communicated. Execution not quite there to match.
Yeah, absolutely is now this pop high. Ozaft, he's proven time and time again he doesn't necessarily need all that much boost in order to make an incredible play. On that occasion, I think maybe 20 or so more would have been beneficial for his chances. Kadley into the middle, flicks it high. Ready was Finzi. Slothy going to take a shot. Sidewall turns it in, hits the post. Another opportunity at the top right corner. Finzi going to make the save. Dreamy back in. This is devastating 2M Day 3 offense, but it's not going to find its home. And the clearance from FNosKe is in, only as far as the midfield. Finzi pops the ball high. Ozaft now has to try and get this ball down the other end of the field for his teammates. And he does just that. Everyone can breathe.
Oof, not for long, though. FNosKe with another chance to face. It's Dreamy with a full tank of boost. Coming off the ceiling, still flip available, but as a player right behind to 50, Ozaft, it's favourable for FNosKe. The shot comes off that backboard. Already up is Kekos. Trying to use the ceiling to their advantage, but a counter comes through. Finzi has 0 boost. Sloppy isn't aware of it. And that's a chance that should have been 2M's Day 3's.
Yeah, it really should have been, and that's a demo coming through And another one, actually, he's clearing the track. Dreamy! Oh my goodness, the demo machine. In the end, it comes to nothing, but you really thought 2M Day 3 would have heard the communication that Dreamy was going for demos. Oh my goodness gracious me. And they're just not getting these plays to go. Kekos can't keep possession of the ball. That's awkward from Ozaf, but he somehow still makes it work. Story of his RL Rocket League career so far. Dreamy off the backboard, looking for a teammate. Finzi won't clear it. Haley won't get there first, and Ozaf takes control.
Goffey had an egregious miss in that build-up. It should be 2 goals to the good for 2M Day 3. Instead, it's neutral ground with 1 opportunity from FNosKe, essentially securing the missed championship. It's a save yet again off Dreamy's strike. Osaf wants to take it forward. Sloppy, make up for your previous mistake, son. Sneaks it under, around the second blitz, straight to that safe corner, at least open for Dreamy.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's looking for the pass in field. Kadley reset, not enough. Cleared by Finzi, but he can't get past Slothy. Reset again from Slothy. He won't chase the ball. Dreamy into the middle. Is there an opportunity? There certainly is, but Ozaft is there. He's super quick with it. Another opportunity, this time sent away. And FNosKe are being absolutely pushed back at every given opportunity by 2M Day 3. The problem for them is so far they've not found the key to break down this defense. And there's another opportunity that goes begging. Dreamy over to the right-hand side. Slothy decides to go back and get some boost, which means FNosKe can clear their lines once more, but not all the way. Slothy into Kadley, trying to work it through. Ozaf does well, and now gets it past Slothy as well. No boost to speak of, but at least he's got the ball clear. Does get demoed for his trouble, but FNosKe under the cosh.
10-minute OT. Caliber defense being shown from FNosKe. But we remember how that story ended. It wasn't a happy one for this blue side. They could change the turn here with that championship winning shot potentially being scored. It's a double commit from 2M Day 3. Another chance forward, not as favorable as the ones they've had beforehand. Regulation looks to come to an end. This monthly comes to an end. It's Kekos to crown 3 new champions.
But really, it's Ozaft from that left-hand side. Gets past 2M Day 3s. They challenge him so early, but he's ready for each one. And only a kickoff goal can save 2M Day 3 from falling to FNosKe in the final. Ozaft wants the exclamation point. It doesn't happen. Finzi tries to get the ball on the ground. It's still up from 2M Day 3, but surely Kekos can do the job. And indeed he can. FNosKe, only 3 blemishes on their record all day. And they look impressive, running through the gauntlet of the Redirect 3v3 monthly number 28 to claim their victory.
Only 3 blemishes, only 3 shots as well in the final game of the Grand Finals. But 10 saves kept that train going, and there was no chance of a derail. They looked fantastic there. No replays apparently available for that final game, but you can go back and watch it afterwards. This felt like the deserved team. This was the one that had all the storyline behind it. 3 new champions crowned and 1 German able to take down the German in the redirect scene. Could there be a dethroning in the next few monthlies? I hope that these players do choose to return, because that was complete quality.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing the players now starting to fill the chat. They are getting there, and we can officially confirm it for you. Here you go. The full bracket of the day ends with a FNosKe 4-1 victory in the grand final. Congratulations to them. We're starting to see them making their way into the chat, and I think everyone is going to be saying exactly the same. Ozaft is insane. He was absolutely the driving force behind that FNosKe roster. I do want to mention and just throw it into the players' minds, just moving into the next Redirect Monthly, perhaps a full German roster making their way into the Redirect scene. Ozaft teaming with Dreamy and maybe finding one other to try and claim victory. Who's to say? Who's to say? But for now, the victory is with Finzi, Kekos, and Oza.
Yeah, they might have to redraft that FIFA E team they've just sent out.
Yeah, maybe.
Because these players are looking extremely promising, but that is £70 given to our champion FNosKe, £30 being shared amongst the players of 2M Day 3 Fan Club, who played second fiddle in that grand final, but looked like it could have been a bit closer than a overall net game 5 end. Of course, there's only 4 played on the pitch, but we have got some thank yous to extend. Only one today for our community caster. Well, Torium took the stand for some of those earlier matchups. Of course, we cover the upper, lowers, and grand finals, but there is so much more action that is played for the rest of the day. Be sure to go over and drop him a follow, both on his Twitch and his Twitter as well, which is also, whilst you're there, where you should follow the likes of Redirect. I believe there is a command as well in chat for all their socials and sign-ups opening tomorrow for Redirect 3v3 monthly number 29. If you're inspired by the likes of FNosKe or 2M Day 3 Fan Club, or you're one of those teams looking to return and pick up yourselves another championship, we will be all for it. But Rhino, of course, there's action for the Redirect 3v3 monthly, but you're going to see this Redirect name elsewhere in the Rocket League landscape.
Yeah, we really hope that you are. If you enjoyed the production this evening, if you enjoyed the casters and the observing both, well, we are offering it as a full package for the coming RLCS season. If you are a team, if you are a manager who want to bring us on for your team stream, all of the links will be in the chat for you, and you can hire RDR Prod to run your team stream, and we're very, very excited to bring that to you. We will show you once again the video after our final highlights are done, but just remember, RDR Prod, you can find us at Redirect Esports on Twitch as well. If you'd like to get in touch, please do. We would love to bring your run in RLCS 2026 to life.
Absolutely, but this was an incredible day of Rocket League for the Redirect 3v3 monthly number 28. New names in the grand finals, but they won't remain new for long. These are players that look to stand in the future of Rocket League. And if you want your story followed, if you're sick of multi-hour breaks, and if you actually want a production instead of a watch party, wait until after these highlights and find out the exact 4 people you need to be hitting up. Thank you for watching.
Time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to.
Welcome to the Redirect 3v3 monthly. Last month, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We had TTV Velocity RL taking on Project Jamal in that upper final, and well, it's in the name. Velocity RL made rather swift action of their opponents, forcing them down into the lower brackets versus ZGDX, and Project Jamal seemingly learning a lesson from their previous opponents. enacted a rather similar force against this orange-sided team. They earned their rematch here in the grand finals, where despite a greater fight coming from Project Jamal, Velocity RL forced themselves to a match point overtime, where ultimately Velocity RL collected Redirect 23's championship. They'll be returning here for the... into their lifestyles as well, but now here playing in their own tournament for charity, they've got something here to prove, especially against this roster of Ascend, a name which has such history behind it and a player that we both very much...
But we've got our upper bracket final to sort out first.
And well, we've had plenty of time to hype up this upcoming game. Seed 1 versus Seed 3. A little bit of a change to the script here. Strike will be struck, looking to make that difference. It's time for the upper finals. I saw that ball forward there from Haven, but Hoppy Tie and a full tank of boost. Endpoint have been so consistent defensively.